Does anyone have a question?
Stuart,
Yes.
when you have a lot of synchronicities in your life and you sort of see things connecting more freely, is that sort of a signal that you're going deeper with this work?
Yes, Larry, I would certainly think so. I mean, because look, everything in life, is connected to everything else in one way or another. The only disconnection is the fact that we don't see it. And as you open inside, you begin to see that all things in the world are connected, positive things, negative things. Whatever we see in the world, it has some connection to what we are here and what we have to learn about our own growth, our own inner evolvement, and how to get closer to God. So yes, I would think absolutely it's a sign of one's growth to be able to see synchronicity. But, I only will tell you, don't get into your head about it, because you start thinking and analyzing and patting yourself on the shoulder, and the whole experience will be lost. Just open, take it deep inside, let it take you deeper. Use it as fuel for your growth. And to understand that whatever is synchronized now, as you evolve and grow, it becomes a whole different reality. You begin to see a completely different reality. Reality changes as we change inside ourselves. And this is a hard thing for people to grasp because everybody wants things to just be, Everything is just the way but it isn't. We change inside. The world we see around us is different. And as we continue to grow, we begin to recognize how, profound and deep it is to see the connections between what we have learned in our lives, what we have learned from our families, our friends, our teachers, how it has helped us to develop the way we see the world today. And then we don't hold on to that. We let that evolution grow. Because, we're dealing with energy that's infinite in the universe. God is infinite in the universe. There's no limitation. And if what we think is reality becomes a limitation in our own minds, then we lose the whole scope of things. Vastness, the incredible amount of teachings and learning that we can do. How extraordinary life is in all its dimensions.
Thank you, Stuart.
Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, this is Jennifer.
Yes.
So back with Rudy's birthday and his samadhi, we talked about how it sets the tone or the energy or the purpose for the year as a part of the cycle of our work. And now your birthday is coming up. And can you talk about how that works in the cycle of our meditation practice?
Well, I don't know. Well, you know, look, my birthday to me is just that, look, I have been given this incredible amount of time to be on the earth, to learn the things that I have to learn. I'm very grateful for that. You know, I don't really, you know, put any kind of great emphasis on that type of cycle. You know, I think every day should be a birthday. Every day should be a day of coming alive. You know, we wait once a year to celebrate our birth, but every day we're born. Every day something profound can happen to us that takes us to a whole other dimension of consciousness. You know, Genesis is not something that took place 100 million years ago, you know? Genesis is something that's taking place right now. All of life is being created inside us and around us right now. You know, so the birthday is always a reminder to me, you know, like in the, you know, Alice in Wonderland, you know, the Mad Hatter, celebrate your own birthdays. That each day, each moment, every day of our lives is something to be celebrated and never to be taken for granted. So, I mean, that's what my birthday is to me, just a reminder, Stuart. You know, it's not just one day a year. You're doing profound inner work. You're doing deep meditation practice. The very act of doing it enables you to be born every day, to transform yourself every day, to enter a new cycle of consciousness every day. To me, that's more important than once a year celebrating one's birthday, or celebrating Christmas, or celebrating Easter, or Passover. You know, I mean, every day is a miracle. Every day is just an opportunity for us to be born. We wake up in the morning, the sun is out, the sky is, you know, it's a whole new cycle. So if I've learned anything from birthdays, it's to celebrate life. To celebrate life. And I think when a person arrives at a place where every day is a birthday, you know, it's a very high level of living and consciousness and a celebration of God on the earth. I mean, it's also a good opportunity to have over 20 people come together to do very deep spiritual work at a weekend, you know, retreat. I don't do this a lot anymore. I used to do this every month, sometimes twice a month, traveling all over the country, all over the world. So it's a great opportunity for a group of people to come and have in-person classes and, you know, experience the depth of that type of weekend, which they're always very profound and deep, and take that with them in the celebration of the next day and the day after and the day after. And I think every day like that, Rudy Samadhi, Nityananda Samadhi, you know, is really a celebration of life and a reminder that time is sacred. We all have a certain amount of time we're allotted here. And if we don't use that time to build a spiritual life, then we got to come back to this stuff and do it all over again. Or at least come back and bring with us everything we learned in this lifetime into the next lifetime. So all of these points on the calendar are just a reminder how precious time is. Rudy Samadhi has always been that for me. I mean, as I've said many times, he told me he was going to live to 84. He was 45 years old when he died. And the truth of the matter is, the last year of his life, he burned up, 40 years of karma. The growth was so extraordinary. So I think, to me, birthday is that. It's not a limitation of waiting 1 year, to have birthday cake and, whatever. It's really a reminder that every day is a birthday. Every day is precious. And that time is very sacred. And we're given a period of time to learn in this life how to get to God. That's what this life is really about. And most people just piss it away. Not just people doing this work, but most people in the world. I mean, And supposedly all of us here are here for that reason, to build a system inside, that helps us to truly become a child of God. I get a lot of emails. Lately, I've been getting all these emails of people with their movies and documentaries. And all of it is very nice. And the intentions of the people are very nice and wanting to save the planet Earth, which it really is a mess today. But the only thing that's missing in every one of them is inner work. It's inner work. That in order to attain that state of grace, people have to work inside themselves, whether it's what we do or other things that they have to do, and they have to fix themselves. If people fix themselves, the world will get fixed. But if people are going to be constantly projecting their ego view of reality on life, it's going to be in conflict with everybody else. So that's what my birthday means to me, And I think that's what every holiday means to me. Don't take time in life for granted. Do your inner work, grow, become a child of God, free yourself of karma. Does anyone else have a question I would like to ask? And like yourself, love yourself. I've said it 100 times. The only person we live with 24 hours a day is ourselves. And we have to learn to value our self-worth and like ourselves. And that's not just something you say, I'm going to do. It takes building a system inside that gives you the strength to do this. Otherwise, the mind is such a strong instrument. The emotions are so strong that these energies just sweep us away. Before we know it, we're trapped in the mind. We're thinking, we're tense, So it takes the development of an inner life to be able to do what I'm talking about. And that really comes back to one's own responsibility. Does anyone else have a question? I hope this is clear. You know, it's so important. The value of time. And how, you know, short time is. And how we have to learn to use it consciously. Everything else, you know, the soul lives eternally. Everything else just disintegrates and dies. Money, power, fame. It's all, you know, it's all an illusion. And I'm not saying we shouldn't have money and things like that. It makes life better for us. But to turn it into God is very dangerous. Does anyone have a question? Anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, then there'll be meditation tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for, honestly, your presence here is a great teacher for me. And it forces me to grow every day of my life, and I'm very grateful for that. So God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm going to see you all tomorrow.
Good night, Stuart. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.